everyone, welcome back to my channel Learn English with Sheetal, and today we'll be discussing chapter number 2.1, the poem written by Walt Whitman and presented by me, Mrs. Sheetal Jain Pillai. So let's get started without wasting much time. Let's do the warming up. The more I learn about people, the more I like my dog is written by Mark Twain. What does Mark Twain mean by these quotes? The writer Mark Twain expresses his view that the more he learns about people, he finds that they are dissatisfied, frustrated, and ready to tramp over others and are not happy at all. As a result, he likes his dog more than animals, as animals are always happy and satisfied and thus better than human beings. So he likes his dog who is loyal, dutiful, playful, uncomplicated, unlike human beings. Question number 2. Put the following attributes, abilities given below in proper circles. So there are 3 circles given to you in your textbook. You need to put them according to what you think are qualities attributed to humans, animals, or qualities attributed to both. For example, good manners are only qualities attributed to human beings because animals have natural qualities. They do not have good or bad qualities. Next, animals live for 150 years, and something that is common to both is swimming, love and care, showing gratitude, bringing up children, and communicating. So this activity needs to be done by the children itself in the textbook. Next, at times, especially when you are frustrated, you wish you were an animal, a bird, a fish, a butterfly, and not a human being. Say which of the above you would choose to transform to give 3 or 4 reasons of your choice. I wish I could be dash. The students must think of any creative answer that they would wish to be and write it down in their textbook. Question number 4. We come across many animals in our vicinity. We also read about different animals in books. Make a list of all animals that fall under various categories. 1 is given for you. So we need to make a list of amphibians, mammals, wild animals, aquatic animals, and pet animals. Amphibians are those animals that can live in water as well as land. Mammals are those animals who give birth to live animals and not eggs. So students must think of their own answers and fill it according to the boxes given in your textbook. Let's see the introduction to this poem, Animals. This is an reflective poem which describes the qualities of animals that human beings must also have had in the distant past. So here the poet Walt Whitman says that human beings somewhere have lost all these good qualities that they had in the past, which animals possess even now. The poet indicates that we should regain all these qualities in order to improve human relationships and to also make this world a better place to live in. Let's start reading the poem. About the poet Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman, who lived from 1819 to 1892, was a major figure in early American poetry. He broke the tradition of rhymed and metrical poetry and was also famous for writing a revolutionary new kind of poetry, which was in free verse. The poem Animals is from his work Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass. So this is an adaptation from his work Song of Myself, and this is also called as a free verse poem, which means it does not have any rhyming words. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained, I stand and look at them long and long. So here the poet tries to express the possibility that he could change his lifestyle and start living with animals instead of living with human beings. The reason is that animals are so calm and self-composed. The poet can stand and gaze at them for long hours. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duties to God. No one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. The poet said that he has observed that they do not suffer anxiety or distress trying to improve their condition. Neither do they complain mournfully about their living conditions. They do not spend sleepless hours expressing sorrow for their misdeeds. They do not disgust the poet by talking to him about the duties to God. Not a single animal seems discontent. They do not behave irrationally, madly pursuing the ownership of worldly things. No animal kneels to another as a sign of worship, nor to any ancestors that lived centuries ago. So here the poet is trying to say that all the animals live peacefully and let the others live peacefully, unlike human beings who are always crazy for owning worldly things. Moving on. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself, they evince them plainly in their possession. Here the poet is trying to say that the animals are neither overjoyed nor unhappy about the state of affairs of the whole earth. Animals also express their relationship with utmost joy towards humans, and the poet also accepts them for whatever they are. These are the kind of qualities the poet is looking in human beings. However, all these qualities are found missing. Moving on, I wonder where they get these tokens from. Did I pass that way huge time long and negligently drop them? Animals offer the poet visible signs of qualities such as innocence and simplicity, and reveal to them by their behavior how these qualities quite clearly belong to them. The poet wonders where the animals obtain these tokens from. The poet wonders if mankind, represented by the poet himself, once possessed these qualities ages ago and then, over the years, gave them up unmindfully. So let's discuss the summary of the poem, students. In the poem Animals, the poet has described his will to become an animal because he thinks animals are far better than human beings. Human beings are greedy and full of jealousy against each other, but animals are calm and self-contained. The animals are happy with what they have. They never complain about miseries and sorrow. On the other hand, human beings complain about their miseries. They give more importance to the rich and strong people. They stay restless because of their own wrongdoings and run behind the luxurious things of this world. Animals, on the other hand, are honest about their relationships and don't give importance to a particular class. They live a life which is full of honesty, less greed and jealousy. Let's come to discussion, students. Match the words given in table A with their meanings in table B. For example, whine means complaining in an annoying way. Sin is an offense against religious or moral law. Evince is to show. Mania means craze. Negligent means failing to take proper care. B. Find adjectives from the poem which refer to positive and negative thinking. Positive and negative, as shown in the table, are placid, self-contained, respectable. Negatives are demented, dissatisfied, unhappy. Complete the following. The poet wishes he could turn and live with animals. Animals do not complain about their condition. Animals do not merely discuss their duties towards God. Animals are not crazy about the mania of owning things. State whether true or false. Animals are self-reliant. True. Animals quarrel for their possessions. False. Animals do not worship other animals. True. Humans have given up many good qualities. True. Animals suffer humiliation. False. The poet has retained all his natural virtues. False. With the help of the poem, find the difference between animals and human beings. Animals never complain about anything. Humans complain. Animals sleep peacefully and do not weep for their sins. Human beings lie awake all night thinking about their wrongdoings and weep for their sins. Animals do not have any God and do not make the poet sick discussing their duties. Human beings make each other sick by discussing their duties towards God. Read the text again. Complete the web highlighting the good values, habits which we can learn from animals. The first one is done for you. They are placid and self-contained. They do not sweat or wean for their condition. They do not kneel before other animals. They are content and simple. They are innocent, respectable, do not weep for anything. Find out lines from the poem that are examples of the following figures of speech. Repetition. I stand and look at them long and long. Since the word long and long is repeated twice, hence is an example of repetition. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. The sound M is repeated twice in make and me, hence it is an example of alliteration. No one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth is an example of hyperbole because it is an extreme exaggeration of a situation using humor. Identify the figures of speech in the following lines. First one, A, is repetition. Second one, B, is personification. Because animals are given human quality. C, they do not make me sick discussing their duty to God is alliteration. D, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. E, D is alliteration again. E, they bring me tokens of myself is metaphor because there is an indirect comparison of tokens to qualities. F, no one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth is hyperbole because there's a major exaggeration or overstatement in the sentence. Read the poem again and write an appreciation of the poem in a paragraph format with the help of given points. This is discussed. You can take help of page number 5 to write the points from title to why I like and dislike the poem. Divide the class into two groups. One group should offer points in favor of view and the other against, which means counter view. The topic life of an animal is better than that of a human being. One will discuss view and the other will discuss counter view. So view counter view students is actually a written debate wherein you will have positive as well as negative points for the same topic. For example, some of you may think that life of an animal is better than that of human beings. Some of you may think the opposite, which means counter view. Human being's life is better than that of an animal. So you will write down the points, and you will also write down the points which you think are counter view. In the exam, you would either get view points and you will have to counter view it, or you would get counter view points and you would write the positive points depending on whatever you get in your exam. For example, if we are talking about the view, and if we think that life of an animal is better than that of a human being, we have the following points. Animals are placid and self-contained. Animals do not try to set targets. Animals do not complain about their condition. Animals are self-satisfied with their condition, whatever it be. Animals do not worship other things or animals or person as God. However, if some of you think that humans are better and their life is far better than animals, then you can write animals cannot improve their lot in life. They do not have targets, neither have goals. It is only by complaining one comes to know how things can be improved. Humans continuously try to improve their living conditions. Animals have no idea about God. Humans acknowledge a divine creator. So this is an example of how we need to discuss about view and counter view and write the points accordingly. Thank you, students.